Hi, this is Marc Morrell from ToonBarn, and I'm here at San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm here with Scott Devine. He's a co-director and co-producer of a documentary called Necessary Evil, Supervillains of DC Comics, which we're about to see a panel, and we're about to see a tiny clip, or 22 minutes?
About 22 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a 22-minute presentation reel. It's basically a portion of the feature-length doc. The overall doc runs about an hour and 40 minutes. So what we're going to show tonight is 22 minutes of the doc, which is hopefully to get everyone excited, to give them a taste of some of what they're going to see in the overall documentary.
And whose idea was this originally to come up with the documentary about DC villains?
Well, we were approached by Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment in conjunction with the fact that they have a very big villains year plan for 2013, that they want to do something, a feature-length documentary that celebrated the villains, and they asked for our take on it. And we thought long and hard, and our thought was, why don't we, delve into the psychology? We all deep down seem to kind of like the villains. Why is that? Why do we like the bad guys? So we approach it from that, almost like a psychological thing, and looking at the various villains, the villains of the DC universe, what makes them tick, what makes us love them, why they are necessary in this day and age.
Do we ever go into the backstories of how they grew into the villains that they are?
Some of them, yes. We do talk about origins of some of the villains. One of the challenges with the project is when you look at the DC universe, there are literally thousands of villains. This is only, about a 100-minute doc, so you can't cover them all. So
the supervillains.
The supervillains, that's right. Villains. I mean, there is a distinction between the villains and the supervillains. So in looking at all these supervillains, there's no way we can cover them all. So it's a little bits and pieces. So some we talk about the origins, other ones about their motivations, other ones about the rivalries with their heroes. We take some of the great moments from the animated films, from the comic series, from the television shows, and from the movies. So it's really just trying to cast a net to give a overall flavor of the DC universe and the supervillains who live within there.
All right. So without these villains, we wouldn't have our good guys, right?
That is the overall thing, that what's more important, which came first, the villains or the supervillains or the heroes. And yeah, we feel that the supervillains are necessary. Without them, there really is no job for the heroes. As one of the interviewees says, without the supervillains, Superman stays Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne's back at home in the Batcave twiddling his thumbs.
And since they grew up in the comics, we kind of want the supervillains to keep going on, because if we defeated the villain in the first comic, there wouldn't be any more comics, right?
Absolutely. It's the longevity. And that's one of the great things we talk about in addition in the documentaries, how the villains have changed over time, that you have to either freshen them up every 10, 20 years, retelling origins. There's so many different ways you can approach looking at the villains. They are such diverse, deep characters. They're not these, one-note caricatures. Characters like Lex Luthor, the Joker, Sinestro. They're very deep, very well thought out characters.
And who is your favorite villain?
My favorite villain, of course, always you can say for the big ones, I've always been a big fan of the Joker and Lex Luthor. My personal favorite, that kind of went off to the side, Anti-Monitor. Wow. The Anti-Monitor, who was the villain in the legendary 1985 miniseries Crisis on Infinite Earths. This was the character whose job was basically to destroy all creation. All the heroes and all the villains had to work together to defeat this ultimate nemesis. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know if you can say a villain can have a special place in your heart, but that's a character when you see him, this guy's playing for keeps.
Right. Like the ultimate villain would be the one that all the villains and the good guys have to fight together to defeat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's one of those ones that not everyone knows about. And it's nice when you see years later, these characters come back up again. The Anti-Monitor was gone for quite a while in the DC universe. Then Jeff Johns and all the people around there brought him back in the Blackest Night saga. He was recently featured as a villain on the Green Lantern, the animated series, season 2. So apparently I'm not the only one out there who's a fan of the Anti-Monitor.
Yeah, very nice. We are looking forward to this on October 25th, and will it be available yes, it will be available on Blu-ray, combo back, and DVD on October 25th.
Right, it'll be coming out as a standalone Blu-ray and DVD. I believe the Blu-ray has a lenticular cover, so when you change it, like the cover image will show 2 different images. So it'll be out there, and I'm sure it'll be playing in many other venues and all that stuff. So we'll see how far it can reach. So we're really excited about the project, and hope you will be too.
Well, I'm looking forward to the panel. We're looking forward to seeing a glimpse of this documentary of yours. So thank you.
Thank you very much. All right.